Stormy rain on this challenge. Thank you. So, I'll close just by first thanking you for coming out to be engaged in the conversation. I learn a lot from these gatherings. It's so often back in DC I'm saying, well, let me explain how this is working on the ground, because I've heard from folks directly in Oregon coming to town halls and explaining what's working, what's not working. And so, but also know you can weigh in with my team by calling Jessica, or if you have like specific ideas on healthcare, she can connect you to my healthcare LA or legislative assistant and so forth, or in housing or on jobs and infrastructure. There's a lot to do. When I came out of high school, my folks would tell the story all through my growing up about the great leap forward that had happened in their lifetimes. My mother's mother, my grandmother, was so poor that she was living during the Depression in a railroad car, lost her 3 children. They were taken away because she couldn't support them. Her husband had abandoned her. She then met my grandfather, had 4 children. My mother was the oldest in that group. But they were really about grapes of wrath, poverty, as you can imagine. And here they were raising me, and they were able to buy a 3-bedroom house, live on my father's mechanic's income, save a little money, and be able to go camping on vacations. And they just couldn't believe this leap forward that had happened in their lifetimes. And I thought we'd see that leap forward continue in my lifetime. Well, when I got out of high school in the middle of the 70s till now, there's been no leap forward for middle class America. It's been flat or declining. And that is not preordained. It didn't have to be that way. The wealth of the country increased enormously over those 4 decades. So this comes back to this fundamental fight that I feel we're having between government vying for the people and vying for the powerful. And right now we're losing. I hope we can pass the For the People Act. I hope we can take, for example, the 2017 tax bill, $2 trillion tax bill, reduce taxes, almost all of it going to the richest Americans. Why don't we take that $2 trillion and invest it in partly in the deficit, and partly in housing, and partly in education, and partly in infrastructure, because those are foundations that make families stronger. And I think we've got to invest more in the strategies to make families stronger. So that's my thought. Keep sharing your ideas and your feelings, and I sure appreciate it. And it's an honor to serve as one of your 2 senators. Thank you so much.